Hi everyone, it's Leona with Leona's Designs. Welcome to another Bird of the Month video, and this month is August, and the bird of the month for August is the Kingfisher. And I drew this little Kingfisher bird a few years ago as a challenge on Instagram, and today I'm going to try to recreate him with fabric. I drew him and used watercolor when I drew him. But today, excuse me, I made a copy of him, and I'm going to cut this out piece by piece and hopefully transform it into a fabric bird. I have my 6 by 6 inch block that I've been using every month to create birds on, and I have a bunch of fabric scraps. I'm going to have to use a bit darker blue than what I have here because my block is so light. Excuse me. My voice is froggy right now. I don't know why. But I've got this, and I thought this might make a really beautiful bird because these colors here are kind of watercolor-y looking, and they would show up well on the blue block. So I think I'll probably use this to cut out the pieces of blue, and then really the Kingfisher, this is a American Kingfisher. It's called a belted Kingfisher, and it is the female is the one with the beautiful markings. Unlike usually it's the male that has the beautiful markings, but this is a belted Kingfisher and has this red belt here and then the different colors. So I just love this little bird. He's so cute. But actually this red is supposed to be like a rusty red. So I thought maybe I would use this rather than this bright red. But we'll see how it looks. I also have just a plain red. And then I have some darker blue here. So, and some white. So we'll see how this works out. Oh, I have gray. Choose this piece of gray. So, what I think I'm going to need to do is trace his body on this block. This I will just cut off and probably sew with thread this branch. But this I will make off fabric. So what I'm going to do now is I'm not going to cut him. I'm going to cut this pattern. And I will just cut these pieces out, piece by piece. Just the gray part here. And I will make this pattern available on my Ko-fi page for anyone that wants to go there and download it and try to make one for yourself. I don't think it's going to be too difficult. It just will have quite a few small pieces, like this little forked tail, and then the gray here and the blue and so forth. So I'm going to go through and cut all these pieces out, and then I'll be back. Okay, so this is a total of all the little pieces. So So I'm thinking this is going to be quite challenging. Not sure if I'm going to be able to do it, but I'm going to try. So I did go ahead and trace the outline of the bird on the block with a pencil. So what I will do now is take each one of these little pieces and probably put a little bit of glue on the back and trace it onto the fabric, and then cut it out and glue it to this, and then eventually try to slow stitch it. So this should be quite challenging. I'm going to get my little iron so I can iron this down a little bit, and then I'll be right back to start. Okay, so I've got this iron down. Just going to add a little glue to the back to hold it in place while I cut it out. And hopefully this will work on the block and not blend in too much. So I'm just kind of trim it off here and here. And see if I can get this cut out. I'm going to use my little scissors. It's going to be a challenge, but I hope it turns out. We'll see. I could use the stabilizer, you know, the sticky stabilizer, but that doesn't let me do the slow stitching that I want to do, so I usually don't use that. It's supposed to, but for me it doesn't work. It just makes it too hard to stitch through. Okay, one down. Let me see how this is going to turn out now, if it's worth doing the rest of them. Well, that looks pretty good. It doesn't blend in too much, so I think that'll be good. And now, let's see, what do I want to cut? Maybe his beak and these gray pieces. Set this aside and get the gray. Guess it's the same on both sides. So I'll just do the same thing. Put a little glue. And hopefully these will be held down enough for me to cut them out. All right, well, let's get cutting. I should save this. Might be able to use this salvage for something. Looks pretty cool. Probably add a little bit of paint to this tail piece because I see it has some white on it. Or just maybe a few white stitches. And it's not going to matter that these are all raw edges because I'm not planning to wash this. It's going to be a wall hanging. Alright, so I've got that cut out. Wasn't too bad. So that's what I'm going to continue doing with all these little pieces. I'll be gluing them down and cutting them out, and then I'll be back. Okay, I just thought I'd show you how it's going so far. It's going really well, I believe. I have cut these little pieces out. I glued this one. I didn't glue these two because I've got to see how they all fit together. This one, I might have to trim it down a little bit because the red and the white's got to go under there still. So we'll see. I think it goes like this. And then the red goes under there somehow. But this is my last piece I'm cutting out. Just want to show you how intricate it is. So you have to really like piecing collage, I guess, if you want to do this, because pieces are very small. Well, unless you make a bigger bird, then it would be maybe a little easier. But my bird is small because it has to fit on this 6-inch block. And it would most likely be easier if you used the stabilizer, iron-on stabilizer. But I think the glue stick works just fine, and that enables me to slow stitch. So I just take the paper off, and there's my last piece. Put a little glue on it and get it glued down, and then I'll decide where the other ones are going to go. That should be good right there. Might have to cut this down a little bit. Better glue this white one. And then this blue one. Let's see. I think I'll just trim him up a little bit. So I'm actually kind of amazed that it went so well, because I wasn't expecting it to really go this well. But the pieces just cut out easily, and they arranged easily, so I will have the pattern for you if you want to try this. Okay, I think I'll glue that like that. And this Oohoo glue stick works very well on paper or fabric. Just gotta get that down there like that. Okay. And this last white piece. Right there. Let's see how it looks compared to our pattern. Where is it? Where did I put him? Oh, he's underneath. Well, it looks very similar, just the blue is darker. And I have to get his eye in there. And then we will, oh, I got some glue on my wool pad. Didn't want to do that. And I'm just going to have to figure out where to draw the branch. Okay, so he's all glued down, and he's ready to start being slow stitched. So I will get my threads and needles ready, and I'll be back. Okay, I got my needles all threaded with all the thread, and I'm going to start with the blue. Just do a running stitch all around, and we'll see how that goes. Usually on birds try to do a whip stitch over the edge, but just thought this time I'm going to try to do this running stitch just to see how it looks. Maybe just a back stitch. Move this camera up a little bit. So I hope everyone's enjoying this video. I have been doing this now for, this is the 8th month. And I'm really enjoying doing these birds, but really don't know if my YouTube audience enjoys it. I don't really get that many comments, so not sure if you enjoy this or you would rather see some other form of slow stitch. So let me know in the comments what kind of slow stitch videos you would enjoy seeing. I haven't done too much slow stitch lately. I've been busy with other projects and doing a weekly art journal challenge every Sunday. And I was doing a junk journaling joy challenge for the whole month of July, which was very enjoyable. but I haven't done a lot of slow stitch, and I really do miss it. Hope I'm in camera. I know when I belonged to K3N's weekly videos, I was doing slow stitch every week and really enjoying it, but she has since moved on to other projects that I wasn't able to take part in, so I haven't really done much on my own. But I'm just going to continue on doing this all the way around with the blue, and then I'll be back. Okay, I stitched along here with straight stitches, but now I think I'm going to go back and do some long stitching here just to kind of make it look more like feathers, and I'll do some long stitches here to make it look more like feathers. So probably just go up and down. No, that's kind of long. I'll just do maybe this long. Oops, sorry. Got the camera too close again. And then a long back stitch. And I'll just go up and down like that. Just to try to make it look a little more realistic. And I won't make all the stitches the same. I think that'll make it look a lot better. So that just gives you an idea if you want to do the bird. Maybe you'll want to do that, or maybe you'll figure out a different way. Well, I've got all the blue stitching done. I did a lot more stitching than I planned to do, and I'm really happy I did because I think it looks really good. So I'm going to continue doing red and white and gray, and I won't show you all my stitching because this video would be way too long because I'm just doing a lot of stitching. But I will pause at different times and show you updates. Okay, well, here he is so far. I'm kind of late with this update because I got so involved in stitching him that I forgot I was supposed to come back and show you some updates. So I just did a bunch of straight stitches here, and here's kind of a satin stitch, I guess you would call it. I guess that's what they call this, satin stitch here on its breast for his feathers, and just a bunch of straight stitches here and down here. So I think it turned out very nice. Just not real happy with his beak there because I kind of got off track there. It's a little fatter than I wanted. But It is what it is. I'm not going to go back and try to correct it. Now I'm stitching the branch. I'm just using long straight stitches. I did look up different ways to stitch branches. There's like 4 or 5 different stitches you could use, but I just thought long stitches would work well for this. So that's what I'm doing now with this brown. Just going to stitch the branches here and here and up here. And then I probably will do a few little red berries on the branch. But then I will be calling him done. And I think he turned out very well. I'm quite amazed, actually, how well it turned out. Because when I was putting in all those little pieces, I myself wasn't quite sure if it was going to work. But it did. And actually, I've stitched over all of those cloth pieces. But they were a good base for his foundation. So I'm just going to continue stitching the branch, and then I'll be back to show you the finished result. Okay, here he is, all finished. Really, really pleased with how it turned out. The branch, I just did long, straight stitches. I did some French knots for the little red berries. And the rest of it is just satin stitch or straight stitch. So it was very enjoyable stitching him. And it was a challenge at first to put them all together. But I'm really glad that I did it and that it worked out. I will have the pattern. Let me get it. I want to show it to you. I will have the pattern on my Ko-fi page where you can download it if you'd like to try your hand at making one of these little kingfishers. You've seen me do it in the video, so it is possible. And I don't have a pattern for the branch, but you can just, sketch that on yourself and then stitch that. I also created a birthday card for the bird of the month for August. This is in my Etsy shop, Leona's Designs on Etsy. It's got an inside all about the bird of the month, Kingfisher, and also about August birthday people. So that is available in my Etsy shop as a digital download if you know of someone who has an August birthday. So both of these will be available for you if you're interested. If you make a kingfisher, I hope you will post an image of it on Instagram and tag me. I would love to see your creation. I hope I inspired you. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. And if you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe, because I will be coming on next month with the bird of the month for September. Blessings to you all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.